Edward VIII had hopes to marry Wallis Simpson and make her his queen before he ultimately abdicated the throne, according to a newly unearthed memoir. The former king, who was monarch for just a few months in 1936 and never had an official coronation, was persuaded by American journalist Charles Murphy to tell his life story, with the two men spending extensive time together between July 1947 until January 1951. Edward and Wallis became lovers before his ascension to the throne, in spite of her being married at the time, and once he was king he believed their marriage would be no obstacle to his royal duties. His solicitor George Allen told Mr. Murphy at the time, he was bent upon marrying her, Wallis, and making her queen and being crowned together. He hated Buckingham Palace and much of the royal existence, but at the same time he yearned to be king. At the outset there was no question of abdication. Click here to join our WhatsApp community to be the first to receive news about the royal family he took the job on with the hope of marrying her. He wanted the divorce secure and everything in preparation so they could be married before the coronation. The former king told Mr. Murphy, "What was really at stake was my right as king to a private life, to an independent existence, to a life outside the office." Edward felt that as monarch he had the right to choose his wife himself. However, as a divorcee, Wallis was deemed unsuitable to be queen and was not a popular choice with the British government either. Become an Express Premium member. Support fearless journalism. Read the Daily Express online. Advert free. Get super fast page loading. Start 30-day free trial. One royal expert told Express. Co.uk that Wallis ultimately did Britain a favour by taking Edward away from the monarchy and allowing his younger, more dutiful and sensible brother George VI to take the throne. Marlene Koenig said that Edward was completely unsuitable to be king, adding, "As a young man, who toured the US and Canada, Edward, known as David, of course, was very popular, but his sense of duty did not match the efforts from his younger brothers, especially the Duke of York, who married the right woman, had two young daughters. David was making no attempt to find a suitable bride to be his Princess of Wales and future queen consort." Another reason for their unsuitability was their sympathies towards Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, even though fascism was not an unpopular political stance amongst the British aristocracy in the 1930s. Photographs even emerged of Wallis and Edward meeting the dictator of Germany before the Second World War. However, the couple eventually set up their home in France. Known as the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, they lived in their French villa near Paris together until Edward died in 1972, with Wallis living there alone until her own death in 1986.